In the fight against cancer, breakthroughs are made every day. Thanks to new treatments, cancer patients have a better outlook than ever before. But these life-saving medical advancements wouldn't be possible if not for clinical trials. Without them, today's most effective cancer treatments would not exist.
Clinical trials are really the backbone of the way we make advances in our healthcare system. You have basic science that comes up with hypotheses and new treatments to try to improve the outcome in patients. In oncology in particular, it's mainly chemotherapy drugs or new targeted therapies that are then tested in a clinical trial. And the results of the clinical trial will show whether or not a new treatment is actually going to improve the overall outcome for patients.
In clinical trials, patients gain access to experimental treatments before they are widely available, as well as access to some of the premier specialists in the country. For many patients, these studies are a chance to get alternative treatment when FDA-approved therapies aren't working. When Barbara Swarthout was diagnosed with breast cancer, she jumped at the chance to be part of a clinical trial for a new treatment.
For a number of years, my family and I have contributed in various ways to fundraising for cancer research, and participating in a clinical trial was making a contribution far beyond anything I could do monetarily. I wasn't helping fund the research, I was being part of it. And I think that gave me a great sense of satisfaction and fulfillment.
Participating in a clinical trial is a big decision, and patients need to consider many factors. Possible risks, benefits, and costs all need to be taken into account before a patient applies. At the same time, researchers must also choose their participants carefully.
You take, first of all, the diagnosis into account. You look at the stage of the disease, you look at the well-being or the performance status of the patient, and those factors really are what make a patient eligible for a trial.
There are a lot of safeguards. The federal government has requirements for trials, and every trial has to go through the Institutional Review Board, which carefully examines the trial for patient safety. The consent forms are written in plain language for patients to understand. Besides which, I think you just have the ethics of the doctors involved. I would never recommend a trial that I didn't think I myself would want to be on if I had that disease.
Thanks to the treatment she received during her clinical trial, Barbara's cancer has gone into remission.
I'm not sure pride in being part of the study is the right word. I think it's more a sense of satisfaction in being part of it. Without clinical trials, there is no progression toward a cure. And by being part of that trial, I feel like I made a contribution that not a lot of people can make.
Nebraska Cancer Specialists is giving people with cancer new reason to hope. This team of leading oncologists spearheads innovative clinical trials, giving patients access to the most cutting-edge treatments available.
At Nebraska Cancer Specialists, we're here to provide the most individualized, complete cancer care that we can for patients fighting cancer. And that involves everything from the highest level of medical care, including clinical trials, to the humanistic aspects of fighting cancer in terms of the psychological and emotional aspects, and try to be the best partner we can for folks during one of the most serious fights of their life.
With 7 locations in the Omaha region, Nebraska Cancer Specialists is uniquely positioned to deliver unparalleled treatment to patients. Oncologists at Nebraska Cancer Specialists offer distinct subspecialties, including prostate cancer, stem cell transplants, head and neck cancer, and sarcomas. This deep understanding of all types of cancers maximizes patients' chances of a cure.
We now find that there's so many nuances in the care of the same disease that it's very important for us to have particular expertise in those areas, so that within our practice we can actually consult individuals who subspecialize in those areas and therefore bring the best possible care to those patients.
The superior expertise at Nebraska Cancer Specialists is only surpassed by their exceptional patient care. They recognize that cancer treatment is the battle of a lifetime and bridge the gap between science and sensitivity.
I would recommend Nebraska cancer specialists because I believe they're the best hope for a cure. They're 100% specialists in their field, devoted toward research and a cure for this terrible disease.
I take it as a privilege to be a medical oncologist for each and every one of my patients. For each of these folks, fighting cancer is among the hardest journeys, if not the hardest, that they're facing in their lives. And for them to welcome me into their life, to be the best partner and advisor I can be for them through the journey is something that is an absolute privilege and that we take seriously every single day.
I always tell my patients that my job is to tell them where the ship can go. They're the captain of the ship, and they decide which direction it is. And I try and help them reach that decision in a way that's compatible with their priorities.
You just develop a very close relationship, and they're kind of your partner for a long time. And again, you treat them as you would want to treat your own family. You look for the best treatments and the treatments that are best tolerated, and hopefully they have a long, healthy life because of that.
I would say that every patient that I take care of actually teaches me something, and they are a wealth of information and actually inspiration. I mean, you look at the courage, the determination, the hope, the faith that these people have in their ongoing well-being. It's an incredible experience.
If you're fighting cancer, Nebraska cancer specialists will fight alongside you every step of the way. Visit us online at nebraskacancer.com.